In today's session of Diagram Dazzles, I am going to brief you one of my favorite anatomy diagrams, and that is nothing but the Monocot Stem in T.S. So this is the NCRT diagram which shows the ground plan, and the unique feature is the scattered vascular bundles. However, for the examination, you will have to enlarge a part of it and then detail all the regions, epidermis, hypodermis, and very importantly the vascular bundles. This is my diagram which I'll be teaching you, and today I would love to acknowledge all help rendered by my favorite professor Dr. K.V. Nagalakshmamma in honoring my skills in biology. Yes, to start with, the monocot stem has an epidermis, the hypodermis is sclerenchymatous, the ground tissue is parenchymatous. The unique feature is the stele which has scattered vascular bundles. It is not limited by the endodermis nor the pericycle, both are absent. Then, inside the bundle sheath sclerenchymatous, it has vascular bundles having xylem, phloem but without the cambium. The tricks to learn the diagram. First, draw the outline. The outline comprises of two arcs which run parallel to each other, followed by a face. So most of them remember the human skull, but many of them remember it as a Spider-Man's mask. You can see it there. It has got two eyes, one tiny nose corresponding respectively the protoxylem and the metaxylem. There is also a mouth and then the brain. So if you remember the Spider-Man analogy, definitely you can crack the code very easily. Also at the end of it, do the right kind of labeling, starting from the cuticle to the water cavity, which is formed by the crushed protoxylem. Yes, so let us start our diagram. To begin with, you will have to start drawing the two arcs, and these two arcs, remember, has to run parallel to each other, and a distance of around 2 centimeters has to be maintained between them. Importantly, the entire outline should be drawn very light. Then after you draw the two arcs below, that is around 3 centimeters below, draw two eyes corresponding to the metaxylem, one tiny nose corresponding to the protoxylem, and then the mouth corresponding to the water cavity. There is also a brain which corresponds to the phloem. So once that is done, next give a etching to the face, outline of the face. So here is how you do it. So just trace it along, but wherever you come across the eyes, give it a mild bulge, as you can see here. So this is the outline. We are going to now develop on the outline, beginning with the epidermis. So epidermis, routinely draw it as barrel shaped cells arranged in a single row, and then importantly it is covered by the cuticle. It has stomata also. Yes, once you have drawn the epidermis, don't forget to draw the cuticle. Next one, you're going to draw the hypodermis. Remember, the hypodermis is sclerenchymatous. The sclerenchymatous has a primary wall which has to be drawn thin and very light with a gentle touch of the pencil. So here you will have to draw polygonal cells which can be any sided, 3-sided, 4-sided, preferably 5-sided, and make the variations in this size. Next, draw the secondary wall. The secondary wall has to run parallel to the primary wall. It has to be drawn thick and dark. So this is how you draw the secondary wall. So repeat it for all the cells around. And because you have to draw the secondary wall, preferably keep the primary walls when you draw the polygonal cells large and wider. Yes, so once you complete this one with the primary wall and the secondary wall, your entire hypodermis will appear like this. So that is our sclerenchymatous hypodermis. So let us move ahead to the vascular bundles. Start with the bundle sheath. Start drawing the sclerenchyma just like we drew earlier, but now first focus on one ring of tissue around the eyes. So you will have to draw it likewise around both the eyes. Once you've completed, fill in the other parts of the vascular bundle. So yes, keep to the borders, draw the variations in the cell sizes small and big. Next, also draw the secondary wall layer thick and dark, and it has to run parallel to the primary wall layer. There should be no overlap between the two. So once you've drawn the sclerenchymatous vascular bundle, okay, you can go ahead with the xylem and the phloem. First, we'll start with the xylem, that is the metaxylem. The two large eyes correspond to the metaxylem. Draw the inner lining thick and dark. Yes, remember the outer line is already drawn with the outline, that is the primary wall is already drawn. So draw just the secondary wall. After that, go ahead with the protoxylem. Similarly, draw the inner wall thick and dark. The water cavity need not be highlighted. Keep to the outline what you have drawn earlier. Focus on drawing the phloem. The phloem has to be drawn very light, thin cells, and then it has to show the companion cells which are smaller, and also importantly the sieve plates with the sieve pore. So the phloem forms the brain of our anatomy. Once that is done, yes, draw the ground tissue. The ground tissue is made up of parenchyma. Fill the entire region between the hypodermis and the vascular bundles with the parenchyma. Parenchyma cells are preferably drawn oval in outline, large and small, oriented in different direction, and significantly with a triangular intercellular space. So this entire region has to be filled with parenchyma. Then go ahead with the labels. The outermost is the epidermis covered by the cuticle. Following that is the hypodermis. Yes, and then the next one is the ground tissue. After the ground tissue, the details of the vascular bundle, the bundle sheath, the phloem, metaxylem, and then of course the protoxylem, and finally the water containing cavity, which is also called as lysigenous cavity, and the surrounding tissue.